If SAF wins, the war is over. If RSF wins, Sudan is over. Yeah? The country we know as Sudan is no more. Yeah? Because this is a gun for hire militia group that is attached to a foreign Gulf state.
You are totally against this neutral stuff.
Yeah, of course.
You are totally against it.
If you're neutral, you're on the side of the oppressor. Yeah?
You know, the last time we talked about Sudan was 2 interviews ago. We touched on it the last interview, but the deepest we went was 2 interviews ago, and that got a lot of feedback. Trust me, that's one of the best videos. You know what? Personally, that's the best segment I've ever done on the show because you went deep. You went deep. Now, the Sudan war is just getting. I don't know if it's getting worse and worse because we are seeing RSF defectors coming out. But then we're also and then we're also seeing SAF reclaiming some territories. But then we're also seeing women being used as currency, as ransom. Now, before we go to that, I know you have a really hard stance on the people who take the neutrality position in this war. People were saying that RSF is bad, but also SAF is bad because RSF wouldn't be the force that it is now without the SAF. So my question is this, Ahmed. Why are you against the neutrality stance in this war? Do you feel like if you take the neutral stance, you're automatically taking this or indirectly taking the stance of the bad people, of RSF?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. If you're neutral, you're on the side of the oppressor. Yeah?
Okay.
So America and Israel unprovoked attacked Iran. Yeah? Completely unprovoked. So if you say I'm neutral, you're inadvertently on the side of America and Israel because you make it seem like both sides have equal accountability and responsibility when one side attacked the other side. Yeah? So the reason why I don't take the both sides narrative in Sudan is this. The conditions under RSF occupation are conditions that nobody that advances the both sides cause would like to live under. Yeah?
Okay.
Women are kept in sex dungeons.
Yes.
Their moms, who are a bit older, are kept in their house to make tea, coffee, food for the torturers of their daughters. Yeah? They're then executed on camera. Yeah? We have the butcher of Al-Fasher. He goes up to a woman, he says, how many months are you pregnant? She says 7, he gives her 7 bullets in her belly. On camera. Yeah? We see people being asked what tribe do you belong to? They answer straight away, bullets. On camera, proud of this. Yeah? There is no equivalent videos coming out from the SAF side. Yeah? There are none. Okay. That's number one. Number two, it's okay to talk about the history of the RSF. And within the history of the RSF, you can hold SAF accountable.
Okay.
Because it's undeniable that SAF created the RSF to oppress the people in the peripheries.
Yeah.
But you can give that as historical analysis. In a contemporary analysis, we have to talk about where we are today. The people that advance the both sides are usually people in the diaspora with family have all left Sudan, who don't really have anybody left in Sudan. Yeah? So it's like a bourgeoisie position to take. Yeah?
Okay.
Because it's like a theoretical position, not one that's grounded in reality. Because in reality, majority of people in Sudan, majority of people that still have people living in Sudan are supporting SAF, not because they like SAF, but because they recognize this as an existential crisis for the future of Sudan. Yeah? So how I explained it before, if SAF wins, the war is over. If RSF wins, Sudan is over. Yeah? The country we know as Sudan is no more. Yeah? Because this is a gun-for-hire militia group that is attached to a foreign Gulf state who does imports 90% of its food. Yeah? It's not food sovereign, the UAE.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sudan has the most agricultural land anywhere in Africa. Wow. Used to be the biggest producer of food anywhere in Africa. Yeah? We have untapped gold reserves.
Yes.
Where's the biggest hub for gold in the world? Dubai, the UAE.
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course.
Gold smugglers know once you get your gold to the UAE, it's completely washed and it's clean.
They melt it.
They melt it, it's clean, yeah? And nobody knows where it originally came from. And then it can be bought by this Kuwaiti wealth Arab or wealth Arab man for an engagement ring or whatnot. Yeah? And then we have the port of Sudan. The Red Sea is one of the most hotly contested strips of water anywhere in the world.
Yes.
So you've got to ask yourself, why has this Gulf state taken so much interest in Sudan? Is it because they want to liberate Sudan from the Muslim Brotherhood, which is the narrative that the RSF claim? The RSF claim to be fighting the Islamists. Yeah? It's nonsense.
Yeah.
They're interested in the gold, the ports, the agricultural land. Yeah? And where else have they put a lot of emphasis into? Libya. What is Libya today? Libya today is two different states, east and west, potentially going to become 3-4 states.
It's a mess.
Yeah? I try to protect the identity by saying this, but someone called me to cover a story of his brother being kept hostage in Libya. He sent me the videos. His brother's being whipped. His brother's hand behind his back getting kicked. Call it abid, which means slave in Arabic.
Yeah. There's a lot of slavery in Libya.
Yeah. The family are like, we can't pay the ransom. Not because they don't have the money, but because other people that this has happened to in the country where this guy's from, they've paid a ransom and then they've killed them anyway. Yeah? And actually, by paying a ransom, you're actually feeding the trade. Yeah? Supply and demand. You're creating a demand. So they've taken this horrendous decision, and it's a more difficult decision than I could ever imagine taking. I'm a father of 2. Yeah? The father of this guy, I was speaking to the brother, the father of this guy has had to take the decision that I can't pay the ransom and feed this horrendous trade.
Okay.
That's Libya. The people that are advancing the both sides argument are trying to, almost like they're trying to create Sudan into Libya. Because what does the RSF want? It wants to capture the whole of Sudan. If not, it wants partition Sudan. Take the Darfur, Kordofan region. The west side. Yeah? And leave Saf with the east and the center. Yeah? Right now, they're put a siege on Al Ubaid in North Kordofan state. Yeah? So they're not going to give up until they get their minimum demand, which is the west side of Sudan, under their control. If we do that, we're going to create the same type of slave-like conditions. Yeah? We've seen all the racist videos that came out of Al-Fasher. That's the future for West Sudan. That's the future for these NGO-adjacent bourgeoisie Sudanese people advancing the both sides argument. Yeah? There are 2 fighting sides happening right now. The SAF versus the RSF. When you're saying both sides, who exactly is meant to defeat the RSF? Who exactly is meant to liberate these sex dungeons? Who exactly is meant to liberate the tribes that are on the verge of extinction because of the genocidal policies of the RSF? Yeah? In a conflict, this is probably not the best example, but it's an example I'll give you at the moment. During the Second World War, there was Winston Churchill versus Adolf Hitler in the UK. Yeah? the British working class had many problems with Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Because he was a elitist, white supremacist. I'm not sure if they had a problem because of white supremacists.
Yeah,
because
they're white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colonialist. I probably didn't have a problem with that. But he was far from a great leader. In fact, he was a terrible leader.
Oh.
Yeah. Terrible leader for what he did in Ireland, for what he did in India, what he said about people from Iraq, what he said about people from Sudan when he was a young soldier in Sudan. Okay. Terrible person. But the fight was between Winston Churchill and Adolf Hitler. Yeah, you can imagine doing the both sides in the Second World War.
You can't.
If you do the both sides, you know what happens? Everyone in the UK will end up speaking German. Yeah. So when there's an existential fight, the people that you have to fight on your behalf are not the perfect people that you want. They're the people that you have. Yeah? We've had this conversation offline. You're not a fan of William Ruto, that's to put it lightly.
Definitely. Everybody knows that.
Yeah? You're not a fan of William Ruto. If Kenya was to be invaded, by, let's say, Somalia, yeah? Hypothetical, Somalis don't get offended.
Let's say Americans.
Yeah, the Americans, yeah, that's a better example.
Yes, a better.
Yeah, if they were to get, you would support the Kenyan Defence Forces.
Yes.
And the man leading the Kenyan Defence Forces.
Which is the president.
William Samoei Ruto.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I will. No, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll support the presidency, not the president.
Yeah. You support, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Because
I'm not supporting Al Burhan. Yeah. I've got a documentary that I made 2019 criticizing Al Burhan, or 2021, sorry, criticizing Al Burhan, criticizing Ahmed. I'm not a fan of Al Burhan. But I'm supporting the national army in the defense of the nation against a foreign-backed genocidal militia. It's that simple. It's that simple. Yeah? And you'll find everyone that's advancing these both sides stuff, they're all NGO, USAID, National Endowment for Democracy, recipients of funds, all of them. Yeah? Yeah? So what did they say? Who pays the piper?
Calls for the tune.
Exactly. Calls for the tune. And who else advances the two sides narrative? Well, I don't know. The United States, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, they all. So isn't it interesting that the so-called non-government organizations, which are not non-government, all advance the same narrative that is disconnected from the masses on the ground and is identical to the same narrative being presented by the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and the United States, and the UAE, of course. You know, the UAE does the both sides stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the UAE does the both sides stuff. So they're part of this thing called the Quad. Yeah, and the problem why SAF walked away from the peace negotiations presented by the Quad led by the United States is because they were trying to put Sudanese Armed Forces and the RSF as if there are two legitimate armed groups. Yeah?
Yeah.
So they're literally advancing the narrative of the imperialists.
Wow. It's a mess. It's a mess. But so you are we've talked about this multiple times offline. You are totally against this neutral stuff.
Yeah, of course.
You are totally against it.
Of course, it's a fight. It's a fight. There's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. Yeah, we know we've got a snippet of what it looks like if the RSF wins.
Yeah,
they won in Al Fasher. We saw genocide. We saw genocide. Yeah, an absolute genocide.
Yeah, it was
because of the backlash of the genocide. The commander that committed so many of the atrocities, Abulula.
Yeah. I've seen him.
Yeah.
You know, where do they always post these videos?
Because he's proud. Yeah. So anyway, the general that is committed all those crimes, the RSF called him into a tribunal and said, this is according to the defector that's just joined SAF. Yeah. So this is from the horse's mouth, someone that was in there. They called him into the tribunal. They didn't say Why are you killing all those people? Why did you put 7 bullets into a pregnant woman's belly? Why did you assassinate all those people that go? Why did you film yourself and make us look bad? Yeah? So they did a fake arrest. He came in one day, left the same day. Yeah? And apparently he's so popular amongst the RSF rank and file. So even with the arrest, they had to tell this isn't a real arrest. Yeah? And so now they're giving instruction for nobody to film him. So what does it mean? Does it mean his crimes have stopped?
No.
You're just not being filmed?
Yeah. But that's the thing.
So they go into a hospital. The worst video is they go into a hospital, people are there lying down, sick. And maybe you can show this as B-roll.
Yeah.
Lying down sick. He comes down the stairs and he just starts spraying everyone on the floor. Yeah? This is the worst terror group currently on the planet right now. And you want to do both sides?
You can't. You can't.
Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
You can't.
Doesn't make any sense. Imagine like what's his name? Mohammed Hassan, the president of Somalia. Yeah. Imagine saying to him, both sides, you and Al-Shabaab are the same. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
So would you want Al-Shabaab to rule the country?
No.
Yeah? Their warped version of Islam, where they hit women on the street for what they consider inappropriate dress. What do we mean by both sides? Yeah?
The terror attacks they've done.
Yeah?
No,
what do we mean by both sides?
You can't.
You tell the people, the victims of the Westgate
massacre.
The KDF and Al-Shabaab are the same.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. Like, nobody can even think about that. But my question is this. Why are they so sick to a point where they film this stuff? It's like they're proud.
Of course they're proud.
What type of madness do you have to have in your brain to be proud of spraying bullets on children and women? Like, what went wrong? Like,
it's because they dehumanized the Masali tribe to such a point that they don't see them as equals. Yeah? And then, what's interesting about the RSF, the majority of people that make up the RSF come from very impoverished parts of Sudan.
Okay.
Yeah? Very impoverished parts of Sudan. But because of what we discussed in a previous video, this Arab supremacy, Arab identity complex, they've been told that their poo doesn't stink, that they are, from this enlightened group of people, that they're a different ethnic group to the African, that they're genetically more advanced, genetically superior, all this type of stuff. So then what you get is what I call the redneck syndrome. Yeah? You know why rednecks are called rednecks?
Explain why.
Because
I've never...
because they work in the sun and their neck gets red.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it's a deeper meaning.
So what does it mean? It means these are people who are not just as poor, but they're poor, they're impoverished. Life hasn't gone as they thought it should. But they've been told they're white, that the white man, is supreme. If Jesus was white, you are the chosen people.
Yes.
Yeah, but then they're poor. So then they've got a chip on their shoulder. How can I be white and poor? Yeah. Meanwhile, this black man who's worked hard has managed to get himself a few chickens, and he goes to the market and he sells the chickens. So what do they want to do? They want to attack the black man, not the ruling class that made them poor in the first place. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get you.
So it's the same kind of stuff with the RSF. They're poor, they're impoverished. They expected life to turn out better than it did. Yeah? And so I have this resentment, particularly post-2005, where there was a comprehensive peace agreement between the Sudanese state and a lot of the armed and rebel groups.
After the Darfur War?
Yeah, exactly. And so they felt that they were left out of those kind of peace agreements, and now all of these groups have started to advance while they've been left behind. Yeah. So there's that, plus centuries of brainwashing propaganda and racism and the effects of colonialism and the British's divide and rule, the Southern policy, all of these things. Yeah. The fact that the administration jobs were given to people that were, self-identified as being from Arab tribes in Sudan. All of this led to a racial stratification in Sudan. And RSF is just the manifestation of all of those unsettled manifestations.
So my question is this, Ahmed. Let's say SAF wins the war and RSF is defeated and SAF has gotten control of the country.
That can't happen, by the way, but yeah.
Really?
I mean, there's just no way. If we get to a stage where SAF is being defeated, I'm flying to Sudan. I'm joining the struggle. Just as simple as that. And there'll be many more like me. Because this is about the future of Sudan. Yeah?
Wait. Oh, sorry. I got it mixed.
Yeah.
Sorry. If SAF defeats the RSF,
okay.
And the country is back in the hands of Sudan Armed Forces, right? What's the future now? Does Burhan become president?
That's a good question.
Does now what happened? You see, because that's what these neutral guys are saying. If SAF takes control of the country, who becomes the president? Does the civilian population choose their own leader? Will the army allow the civilians to choose their own leader? Or will there be another war because of the beef between the civilians and the army? That's something that people...
It's a great question.
And trust me, I get you. This neutrality stance, I'm also against it because this is war and you have to pick a side. It's either you're on the wrong side or the right side. But then I think some of them are looking at it from a point of, okay, then what happens if SAF takes back the country? What do you think about that?
So we have to distinguish between short-term objectives and long-term objectives. Yeah? Short-term objectives, which everyone should get behind, is defeating RSF.
Yes.
The long-term objectives is getting back to the aims and the ambitions of the Sudanese revolution, which is ultimately civilian rule. Now, we have a problem. A lot of the civilian leadership have been compromised. We saw them here in Nairobi, forming this parallel government by the RSF. So some of the civilian leadership are despised by the Sudanese masses. Yeah, principally Abdullah Hamdok, who was the prime minister during the transitional period.
Yes.
Who used to be a good friend of my father's.
Oh, yes.
He's been to when we lived in Leeds, he's been to my house. When I was last in Sudan with my dad visited his house.
Is he a good guy?
No, he's a terrible piece of, opportunist piece of...
You can cuss.
Yeah? I'm trying to say this to say, when it comes to the homeland, you have to put all this personal to the side.
Yeah.
My dad would agree with me now. Yeah? When people show their true colors, they show their true colors. Yeah? If we're like brothers now, we're friends.
Yes.
If I sell out the African cause, African liberation, I'd expect you to speak about me the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I will.
We can't allow personal relationships to get in the way
of the struggle.
Yeah? He's living in the UAE.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's living in the UAE. His son works for UAE investment company. Yeah, managing UAE investments. Allegedly involved in all sorts of other stuff, which I won't say for legal reasons.
Okay.
Potentially clubbing mercenaries. Again, allegedly for legal reasons.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and he just walks around everywhere. He goes on these tours in Europe, and every time he goes to tour, giving the exact UAE talking points, there's always a protest of Sudanese people outside. Yeah, so this has become symbolic of the civilian leadership. So it doesn't mean that we should never have civilian rule. We need civilian rule in Sudan. People have died for civilian rule. We just need new leaders.
Okay.
Yeah, from the grassroots. The people that have stayed behind in Sudan, the community kitchens, yeah. The revolutionary groups that stayed on the ground, of organized people, have tried to raise consciousness, provide food, have been in contact with me, I'm helping fund water wells, solar panels,
I see
schools,
you do that.
nurseries.
Yeah. You do that, man.
But it shouldn't be me, of course not. It should be those people that are stayed behind when they could have left. Yeah? That we need, when there's a fire, I'm going to get all mythical here. When there's a fire and it burns everything to the ground, and there's nothing but ash left on the ground. In, I don't know what mythology is it, Greek or Roman? There's a phoenix that rises up. Yeah? You don't see it when the fire's happening. You don't see it when things are being eviscerated. That phoenix will emerge in Sudan.
Okay.
Yeah? And that phoenix will lead us to civilian rule. So that is our long-term objective. When the war is over, we need to struggle for the army to return back to the barracks.
Yes.
The army to let go of the chokehold that it had before the war on the Sudanese economy. Yeah? The Sudanese army, like there's many criticisms I could give the Sudanese army. They controlled so many of the industries.
Yes.
Import,
yes,
export,
yes.
automobiles.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah? Farming,
Farming,
agriculture,
farming.
banking.
I saw the
Yeah?
farming. Yeah.
It was corrupt, completely corrupt. We're not expunging them of their crimes. We're just saying there's a long-term goal and there's a short-term goal. The short-term goal is
to
defeat the RSF. The long-term goal is to get back to the December revolution's aims and objective, which is civilian rule, which is answerable to the Sudanese people.
Has Burhan committed to that so far? Has he said that when we get back this country, we are giving the power to the people?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. But it doesn't, why would he? Of course, if he defeats the RSF, he's going to be treated like a national hero, and he'll probably want to ride that train.
Yeah, you know how they do.
Yeah, all the way to the presidential palace. But does that mean we shouldn't support him in defeating RSF? It's a logical fallacy, isn't it? So because he's got aims, because he might have aims of becoming the president post-war,
that doesn't mean
we shouldn't try end the war. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? We've lost family members.
The whole country is
the whole country.
Nothing is working.
People are in famine. People are in famine. Children are malnourished. Dengue fever's out of control. Cholera. Even in Khartoum, which has been liberated from RSF, we don't have electricity. We have blackouts.
Oh, really?
There's no consistent electricity. People are struggling. So miss me with that academic, theoretical stuff.
Yeah.
We need to go back. I need to go back to my country. I need to go back to my country.
There needs to be stability.
There needs to be stability.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now, let's say Burhan becomes president. You know, you know him. You know Sudan very well. You think he'll be the leader that can get the Sudanese economy, social, and political life back? Do you think he'll bring stability to the country? Do you think he'll unite the country? Because that's most likely because we all know politicians. They'll write off of I'm the hero guy, and now So let's say Burhan becomes president. You think he'll successfully unite the country, or
for a period of time? Yes.
Okay.
For a period of time, but that time will run out, and people will want what they wanted in the December Revolution. But in terms of economy, for economies to grow, you need stability. For stability, you need peace.
Yes.
Yeah? If we look at the African context, the poorest countries are the countries riddled with conflict. Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we look at Burundi, is always in the bottom three. Yeah? South Sudan, which is at the Somalia, Democratic Republic of Congo. Yeah? The Central African Republic. Yeah?
Yeah.
If we look at the countries that are economically the most advanced, they're the countries that have relative stability.
Yes, yes,
Yeah?
yes.
They might have like protests.
Kenya is one of them.
Kenya is one of them.
Yeah.
There's not been any wars in Kenya. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know war.
We had was it the
207,
207?
Yeah, population violence.
Yeah. But it's still not a war. Yeah.
It was
It's a lot of people that have died, but it's not nowhere near what we've had in Sudan, which is hundreds of thousands. Yeah. Ghana is one of them. Ghana's never really had a war. Yeah. South Africa post-apartheid has never had a war. Although, we can get into how they're acting against the African migrants at a later point. Yeah. So you need stability.
Yes.
Yeah. You need peace and security and stability.
Yes.
Yeah. And then once you have that, Europe as a whole, Europe since the Second World War, apart from like Russia, Ukraine, Yugoslavia, majority of what we consider European Union countries, they don't have wars, so they can invest in stuff. For people to invest in your country infrastructure projects, they need to know it's not going to get blown up. You know what I'm saying? It's simple stuff.
Definitely.
It's simple stuff.
Stability has to be there. Peace has to be there.
Stability has to be
thrive.
Stability has to be there, and it has to be there for a sustained period of time. At least 5-10 years of stability.
Yeah.
Of stability. So
you think he'll bring it? Let's say in the first 5 years he's in charge of Sudan. Burhan.
Yeah, I think it would be honourable for him to say, we are going back to the barracks, and we're gonna make room for elections, and we're going to secure the electoral process. But I don't think he will do that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I just know, I was born on a Saturday. I wasn't born last Saturday. Yeah. I just know how politics works. He's gonna, if he wins the war, he'll ride that train, as his advisors will be telling him to do.
Of course.
But I don't want that conversation to surpass the need to support SAF in the war. It's not supporting SAF. It's supporting SAF in the war. Yeah? There's a difference, there's a distinction.
In the war, not SAF entirely.
Yeah.
In this war.
Yes.
I get you. Now, what's the progress? Is it getting better or worse? Because last time we talked about this, it was actually before the war.
Before the war?
Before the Iran war. US-Israel-Iran war. Now, UAE has been bombed by Iran. Has that affected the supply of gold and weapons between the RSF and the UAE? And also, with the defectors and with SAF taking the territories back, with the RSF defectors and with SAF taking the territories back, is there some progress to SAF reclaiming the country, even if it's a little? Is there some progress?
So there was a lot of progress, and that's why, defectors defect because their side's losing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And at first it was unclear whether the US-Israeli war on Iran would have an effect, but it definitely did. Yeah. Okay. Because the UAE's flights were grounded, which meant that the supply routes were halted. And so then we started to see, this RSF camp in Ethiopia, which became like a new front of the struggle. Yeah. Now, Ethiopia is probably one of the UAE's key partners.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're building Abiy Ahmed's presidential palace. They're building Abiy Ahmed's presidential palace. They've given him billions in loans and grants, to rebuild the country after the Tigray war. They support him to the hilt. And so...
Is that where the damn money came from?
No, the damn money came from Ethiopians in the diaspora. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I
like but someone be in charge when something is completed and they get the credit. But this damn project was...
Oh, it has been the pipeline.
Yeah.
Even before Abiy Ahmed.
Yeah, even before Abiy Ahmed.
Oh, okay.
So it got completed while he is. So he's taking all the credit, taking all the pictures. But it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. But actually, I'm glad you brought that up because that's also related to the Sudan conflict. So one of the problems with SAF, is from independence, 1956, it's been closely aligned to the Egyptian Armed Forces.
Okay.
Yeah. And Egypt is supporting SAF in the conflict against the UAE-backed RSF. Yeah. But Egypt is playing a double game because they also have very good relationships with the UAE.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're supporting them on this front, but they have all these business deals and stuff with the UAE over there. So, because Egypt has a problem with the Grand Renaissance Dam, Sudan now has a problem with the Grand Renaissance Dam. Even though there's no empirical evidence that the dam is having a negative effect on the water supply into Sudan. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, evidence to the contrary, that every year the River Niles bust its banks and a lot of agricultural land is flooded. By having a dam that reduces that
The water supply
slightly.
in Egypt.
So in Egypt, apart from like very biased Egypt publications, we've not seen any independent objective analysis that says that it will affect Egypt. Egypt is work with Egypt. It's more of a sovereignty issue where they feel like the Nile belongs to them, because the Nile is so closely associated with Egypt. The River Nile. Whenever people think of the River Nile, they'll never think of Uganda,
Sudan. Which other? Ethiopia also.
Ethiopia. Do you know what I'm saying? They just think of Egypt. It's like the stories, Moses, even though the according to people in the north of Sudan, the Moses basket was dropped in Sudan and it went because the River Nile.
Yeah, there were no borders back in the day.
Yeah, the River Nile streams upwards, isn't it, into Egypt?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's another reason why Ethiopia is trying to support the RSF. Because under the guise of my enemy's enemy is my friend. Yeah?
Yeah.
So if you support Egypt over the dam, and if there's a potential future conflict, we're going to support the people that are fighting you, so that if they can take power, they'll represent our interests.
Why is Kenya, though, is supporting the RSF, which is insane?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's just money, isn't it? My theory on Ruto is this.
Not Kenya, Kenyan leadership.
Yeah. My theory on Ruto is this. I was here when he first got elected.
2022.
2022, yeah.
Yeah, late 2022.
Yeah, I was going back and forth. I'd moved here in January 2023. So when he kind of took power, I was here, but I was back and forth. So I was listening to all the speeches, the Hustler Fund and this and that. My theory on Ruto is, his whole pitch is, I'm an outsider. I'm not Odinga.
I'm not a Kenyatta.
I'm not a Kenyatta. Yeah?
I'm not a Moi.
I'm not a Moi.
I'm just a chicken seller.
Exactly.
Who came from the bottom.
Exactly. Yeah? Very great pitch. But I think he's determined in the 4 or 8 years that he's in politics to become one of these dynastic families.
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course.
So he's trying to... I shouldn't say this while I'm living here. I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Please
but he's trying to accumulate as much wealth as possible during these 4 and 8 years. So now you see the Rwandan-backed M23, a lot of them are in Kenya. Yeah? Any rebel group, they can find a home in Kenya as long as you're willing to pay. Yeah? The RSF, we see Sudanese number plates, RSF driving around here in Kenya.
Hemeti's brother has a Kenyan passport.
Has a Kenyan passport.
That blew my mind.
But this is just money. It's just about money and gold. Yeah? So a lot of the gold that's smuggled out is smuggled via a lot of these countries that are supporting the RSF via the UAE. Yeah? So a lot of gold is being used. And then when it comes to election, campaigns, You know, they go to these places and they just pay people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I couldn't believe it that that's how so much of African politics is settled. By how much money you distribute.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But the problem isn't. It's about money flow and money accounting. Yeah. So you can't take money out of the bank and give it to someone,
No,
because if you take a big money out of the bank, they go, "What's this for?"
What's this for?
Yeah.
So it's so there's a lot of
Then
shady things.
So
going.
gold is the perfect remedy to that, isn't it? You take gold on the black market, you exchange it for cash on the black market, you give it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Money in your bank stays secure. Everything looks legit. Everything looks above board.
We call them wash here in Kenya. It's sad that Kenya were always at the wrong side. We were with Macron, inviting him while Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso are decolonizing from French.
Yeah.
Now we're in the G7 and Ruto is representing Africa there. He thinks that he's the king of Africa because he has been chosen by white supremacy to represent Africa in the G7.
Yeah. And Kenyans were getting arrested outside the. You saw my camera operator got arrested.
Yeah,
we were covering the protest.
I saw that.
We were covering the protest. She got arrested.
I saw that. So we are always right now. I can say with the Ruto presidency, we are at the wrong side of African history. Ebola there.
Yeah.
With the Sudan.
Yeah.
Now with
Haiti.
Yeah. Even though the officers came back, it was a failed mission. So what's the result? Have the gangs? You've been to Haiti, right?
No, I've not been to
No,
Haiti.
you've been to Haiti, but you've done stories about Haiti.
Yeah, we've got a correspondent there. We've got a correspondent.
African Stream, huh?
Yeah, and Sovereign Media.
And
now.
Sovereign Media.
Yeah.
You know that the gangs are still there. So it was a failed mission. So what did you go to do there? You just accepted money from the US, and so it's and by the way, the cops. I remember they were complaining that they were not getting paid much.
Yeah.
So we're always at the wrong side of history, and this one, let me tell you.
So just to add, all of these Kenyans that are being mistreated in the Gulf, Ruto and
Saudi Arabia.
Ruto and his family are in the middle of that. Yeah, they've got a business.
Yeah, they were exposed the other day.
They've got a business.
The agency business that's taking people to Saudi Arabia.
So instead of providing jobs for Kenyans, you eat off the fact that there's no jobs and set up an agency for them to go there when you know as soon as they get there, the passports are taken off them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to work 7 days a week. They're told that they can't go home for 2 years.
Denied food.
Treated horrendously. If they're women, they're sexually harassed, assaulted.
And they end up dead as well.
We saw a Kenyan taxi driver being sexually assaulted by an Arab man.
I saw that.
When he posted the video on social media, he got kicked out of the country. So it's like, it's sad.
It's sad. And let me tell you.
And this life is short. It's like if I could have one message to William.
Yeah.
This life is short. Yeah. As a Muslim, we believe the afterlife is eternity.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you're trying to accumulate wealth, for this short period, when you're gonna be accounted for your crimes against people that look just like you, which is gonna mean that you're gonna live much worse off in the afterlife. In the afterlife.
So for the eternity, you will be punished.
Exactly. They say this life is like a grain of sand. Yeah, grain of sand. So like, what do you do here? Who have you helped? Who have you wronged? We also believe everyone that you wronged will come to testify against you on Judgment Day. So we'll have these Haitian police officers testifying against him. We'll have these Kenyan maids. We'll have testifying against him.
The young people.
We'll have the Gen Zs. We'll have the Gen Zs. Yeah. We'll have the projects, the orphanage projects that were meant to be built, the hospitals that were meant to be built, but the money that was siphoned off for hotels and private businesses. We'll have the Sudanese people accounting against you, testifying against you. So yeah, man.
Yeah, but let me say this: in the long run, or maybe even in the short run, Kenya will pay. Like and that's the problem. We will pay for taking the wrong sides in each and every conflict, in each and every scenario that we are, that we are taking the wrong sides on. We will pay, and it will make Kenya sort of like a pariah state here in Africa. We're like, Kenya is where all the sellouts are. And one day, I'm telling you, when Sudan gets back on track, when DRC gets back on track, when Africans start waking up, Kenya will suffer because they'll be like, when for example, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, when we were decolonizing from France, you betrayed us by taking Macron's side.
Yeah.
It will, all these things that we're doing will bounce on us hard.
Definitely. You know, it's funny. We'll move on to Batuke in a moment.
Yes.
We just did a story about the Ebola Center. And the title of the story was Kenya is not an American colony. And an African sister from the US goes, what do you mean it's not a US colony? You send troops to Haiti, you set up an Ebola factory, you accept an IMF package against the will of the people.
Yes.
How is it not an American? I know it got rejected, but then now they're trying to push it through the back door.
Yeah.
How are you not an American colony? And because I've been living here for the last 4 years, I was going to respond, and I was like, what can I respond? It's a tough argument.
It's a tough argument.
It's a tough argument to make.
And the troops are here as well.
Yeah. They're in Lamu.
They're in Lamu.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we will pay.
They say they're going to replace, the largest drone military site for the US was in Niger. And so Niger, out of the 3 AES countries, went further than the others 2. Yeah? The other 2 kicked out France.
Yes.
Kicked out French media. But at least on paper, they still have good relations with the US.
Okay.
Yeah? Niger kicked out the drone base, which was the largest drone base in Africa. And is the second country in Africa after Eritrea to cancel all relationships with military-to-military relationships with AFRICOM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Niger has gone an extra mile. Huh?
Niger has gone further, and actually, I know Mali made the news recently, but Niger has been punished heavily for it. There is a huge insurgency in Niger that doesn't get the amount of attention that it deserves. But people from Niger really need our support in exposing these groups and pushing back against these groups.
We'll talk about that on our Sahel segment. But again, I repeat, Kenya will pay for the wrong stances we are taking. We'll pay, and we will pay it really, really, like in a really ugly way.